Good morning and Chodesh Tov. That we should have Chodesh of Bsorot Tovot, of Smachot, of Briut, of Parnasa Tova. So today's lesson is the last for regarding Shabbat. And just to recap our last lesson, we were learning about bringing Kedusha into our home. And by learning Torah on Shabbat, we are actually preparing for Olam Haba. When the Jews lived in Eretz Israel, when Bnei Israel lived in Eretz Israel, in every city, they used to blow the shofar 6 times before Shabbat came in, to warn the people that Shabbat was coming in, was starting soon, and they had to stop whatever they were doing before Shabbat. Throughout the afternoon, the shofar was blasted. It wasn't just the last hour, half hour, but throughout the afternoon, every now and then, they would blow the shofar. And on Motzei Shabbat, the shofar was blown 3 times to signal that Shabbat was over. Even today, in some places, there's a siren that, like in New York, in Yerushalayim, in many places, Bnei Brak, there are many, many places where there's a siren that is heard before Shabbat, and that's to warn that Shabbat is coming soon. So there's like maybe 10 minutes before Shabbat, there's a siren, and then there's again another one closer to Shabbat. In Sefer Devarim, which is the last Chumash, it says, "V'zacharta ki eved hayita be'eretz Mitzrayim." You must remember that you were a slave in Mitzrayim. Al kach tzivacha Elokecha, Hashem Elokecha, la'asot et Yom HaShabbat. Because of that, Hashem has commanded you to keep Shabbat. When the Jews were in Mitzrayim, they had to work every day and night. They had very little rest. They were slaves. Anything and everything under the sun they had to do. And they could not have any rest at all. Only Shevet Levi, the tribe of Levi, they were the only one who did not do the Shebut, they did not do the slavery. They were not slaves. Because when Paro called the Jews and told them, Mitzrayim needs you, your country needs you, come and help us build the country. So all the Jews went, except for Shevet Levi. Shevet Levi did not answer Paro's call to come and work. They said, no, we learn Torah. Even though they did not actually get the Torah, it was only after they came out of the Torah, of Mitzrayim, but they learned what had been passed down to them through Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov from Yitzchak and Yitzchak from Abraham. And so here we see that the Torah is really very, very specific about keeping Shabbat, because Hashem did not do any work, because on Shabbat Hashem is the king, and to remember that we were slaves. We need a day for ourselves. We all know how we need Shabbat. The whole week long, we barely have time to breathe because we're so busy running here and there, doing and planning, whatever it is. When Shabbat comes, that's the only time we can think. That's the only time we can relax. So Hashem says, you were in Mitzrayim, you did not even have that one day to think for yourself. Now I'm giving you Shabbat. I'm giving you Shabbat for you to relax and build yourself up on Shabbat. Fill up your battery on Shabbat, because that's what's going to give you the strength to do the rest of the work during the whole week until the next Shabbat. The only work we are allowed to do on Shabbat is Hatzalat Nefashot. If someone fell or hurt himself or cut himself or broken a limb or whatever it is, a woman needs to give birth, yes, we are allowed to break Shabbat for this. This is what we call Hatzalat Nefashot, saving someone's life. That even the Mishnah says that even on Yom Kippur, if someone is going, is walking down the street and he sees a building crumbling, he has to really he has to go get help, even himself, get a tractor and remove the bricks or whatever it is. Maybe there's someone who is there. Maybe there's a Jew who needs help. Maybe there is someone that maybe I can save someone's life, even on Yom Kippur. And we know that actually Shabbat is even more important than Yom Kippur. Shabbat is more important than the Chagim and the festivals, and more important than Yom Kippur. In the time of the Bet HaMikdash, if someone by mistake, not on purpose, if someone by mistake broke a rule of Shabbat, he had to bring a korban, the korban chatat. The korban chatat, which is a sin offering sacrifice. Just so he be forgiven for breaking a rule by mistake. The melachot of Shabbat are 39, and there are also derivatives of each melacha. It really takes a lot of learning to go through each one of them, but it's not an excuse for anyone not to learn, or I'm not going to learn so I don't need to know. That's not an excuse, because it's every adult responsibility to actually make it his business or her business to find out about the Torah, about the mitzvot, how to do them. And I would like to tell you a story about how we said that because of Shabbat there are many blessings. So I would like to tell you a story that happened recently, maybe 3 years before COVID, maybe it happened. There's a rabbi in the community by the name Rabbi Ben Shushan, and I hope I'm getting all the details right, because I heard it from him. And so he has a shul, and Friday afternoon he drove his car to the shul, right? And he put the keys, and he has a spot where he always puts his keys, and that's it. Comes Motzei Shabbat, after Havdalah in the shul, and he goes to find his keys, he can't find them. So he thought, okay, maybe someone is trying to play a trick on him. So he goes outside in the parking lot, and he knew where he had left his car. Car wasn't there. So he goes back. He sees some of the men coming out, and said, come on, guys, I need to get home. My wife is waiting for me. I have to say Havdalah. Come on, give me, where's my car? Where did you put my car? And they're all looking at him. We didn't take your car. Come on, we didn't. So is my car. The car was nowhere to be found. said to himself, what's he going to do? What is this? Looks like someone actually stole the car. So he borrowed there was a phone there in the shul. So he called the police and he said, my car is missing. I brought it here on Friday. And the police said, yes, we know. He said, what do you mean you know? And they said, yes, we are coming to you. Where are you? And he told them where he is. Okay. A few minutes later, the police come. And they ask him a few questions. Where did you leave it? Where did you leave the keys? So he showed them exactly where he left the key and everything. So they said to him, there was a thief that actually broke into the shul on Friday night. And they did not even, no one noticed even. He took money from the tzedakah box. And he, I guess, looked around in the shul. He had found the keys to the car. He had found the wallet of the rabbi. This was together with his keys, and he figured he's going to find the car, and he found the car, and he drove away with the car, and he drove away and the wallet. So how did the police know about it? Because the thief went and he wanted to use the credit card from the rabbi. And the purchases that he made, they were declined. He went to a different place, the same thing. Went to a different place, he tried again, a different thing. The credit card company called the police and told them, we have a customer who has a credit card for over 20 years with us, and we know that he has never used it on Friday night and Saturday. This card was being used actually from Friday night and throughout Shabbat, right, throughout Saturday, and they figured this must be a fraud. And they are the ones who alerted the police. And the police had been waiting for his phone call. He was just, everybody said, what? So he called himself the company. And they said, yes, we know that you have been with us for so long. You never use it during this time. Every Saturday, you never use it. So when someone used it, we knew it was a fraud. So see what Shabbat does. Shabbat brings blessings to you, to us. But Shabbat also watches over us and protects us. And there are millions and millions of stories about how Shabbat watches over us. Mi sheshomer Shabbat, ha-Shabbat shomeret alav. Whoever keeps Shabbat, Shabbat watches over him or her. So have a good day, Chodesh Tov. In the zechut of this learning, may we learn to keep Shabbat 100%, and Hashem should bless us with bracha, hatzlacha, yeshuot, bריאות, פרנסה טובה, נחת, shalom, simcha, and zivugim. Have a good day.